CM 365, all about Carnatic music.
Versatility seems to be an important and vital ingredient, I would say, for surviving and establishing yourself in any field. And music seems to be no exception to it. In fact, in earlier days, we would see that when a musician took to this Carnatic music, kacheri, doing kacheri as his profession, he would only stick probably to singing concerts and nothing more. In the sense that all his concentration will be only in learning and improving his repertoire in terms of how to present the concert. And beyond that, we could say that probably it would extend in terms of teaching students. So the entire life of the artist actually would be revolving only around singing music and teaching music. And sometimes, as I said earlier also, they would be oblivious to anything else around them. And many of these musicians also did not have much education. The concept of going to school and mingling with other children, all this also did not happen much. But yet they were very, very successful because of the fact of they were able to specialize in their field. And dabbling with other areas actually was also considered as unnecessary and unwanted at that point of time. In fact, if you try to do something beyond music which was not at all relevant to music, it would be actually not even welcome by people. And as for the dressing and other things, it was, I think, fairly decent and simple, and today the things have changed, and that's what I wanted to share with you. Today we see that an artist, for example, if he just knows thousands of compositions, very, very rare varnams, tillanas, and having a very large repertoire, but not able to, share it in the public domain in a proper way, then the whole thing actually remains confined to himself. This concept of versatility also has to take shape in many ways in terms of showing his talent in other genres, in terms of the way he dresses, in terms of the way he actually shows competence in some other unconnected areas also sometimes. All these seem to add value to the artist today, which was actually unheard of before, I would say. So, here what happens is that the first thing is that increasing one's repertoire is become very, very important with so many online concerts coming in. Just imagine the scenario about 10 years back where we used to actually go from place to place and perform concerts. So for an artist, if he performs in 10 sabhas, we see that the local audience only would attend the concert. So obviously, audience which comes to Tirchi will be different to an audience which comes in Madras, or when you're going to Bombay, it's going to be a different audience. So even for that matter, we could say that the artists actually could have a very small repertoire of songs, and with that he could even run the profession in terms of specializing on only those limited songs, because the rasikas are going to be different at each place. But today, with online concerts becoming the norm, we see that you have actually the same set of audience following you through all your concerts. So if you have a set of rasikas, each one of the artists in fact have their own set of rasikas, their own fans. So they start following you, through the online mode. So if you're going to sing the same set of songs or the same ragas and keep repeating again and again, then they will lose interest in what you're doing. So that way you have to be very, very updated, you have to be very fresh, you have to offer interesting fare all the time to keep your set of audience with you, that is the online audience with you. The second thing I have noticed is that a lot of conscious preparation is being made today towards the attire, that is towards how you dress up yourself. Here also I would like to share that I myself, I am not a very great person in terms of, arranging my wardrobe or thinking about what I am going to wear for a concert. I just pick up something and go around. So this was very convenient, I would say, in live concerts, because as I said, the set of audience are going to be different. So even if I wear the same sari in Madras and then go to Bombay and perform and wear the same sari, nobody is going to really bother about it. But in the online mode, people seem to be so bogged up about what dress you are wearing, what sari you are wearing, what jewelry you are wearing. In fact, I also remember I'm very forgetful in all this, and I just grab whatever I get and I wear. So 2 online concerts came consecutively once during the pandemic times, my own concert. So I wore the same jewelry for both, and one old lady, she called up specifically and asked me, the last kacheri you wore one jewelry, the same jewelry you are wearing again the next one also, why so? So this, how people even observe you, was a revelation to me through this particular statement actually. So now I see that artists are very, very particular about what they are wearing, how they match their jewelry with their sari, or even gents for that matter. We see how they, wear all kinds of colorful kurtas to make themselves appealing. Especially in the case of duets, we see that the combination, the contrasts and combinations that they try to bring in the sari, the jewelry, all this, offers for interesting study actually by itself. And I suppose they do a lot of homework also on this, because you can't just ad hoc have matching things to happen like that. So you have to really work on the attire also as to how it will match. In fact, in our Sabha itself, because we do a lot of online recordings, we send the backdrop picture to all the artists, and some of them also take great effort or make great effort to see that they beautifully match with the background. And sometimes we also see that the other artists on stage also try to match with the main artist in terms of the color and other things. So what I want to say is that you should have a versatility in terms of even the taste of what you're going to wear. You should develop a proper taste for that in terms of the makeup and other things. The next thing is, of course, in terms of this versatility, is that today we also see that apart from singing Carnatic music, some artists, they try to venture into singing film songs, some Western numbers, and so many other things which you would never expect or you never thought they would be able to sing. They spring surprises at you, and that way they are able to engulf, or they are able to embrace more number of audience into their fold actually. So beyond the Carnatic music, how to be versatile and bring in more audience is another thing they think about. The next thing is, in the pandemic time, I also saw that many musicians actually took to speaking a lot, talking a lot about various interesting things related to music. So they also had to hone themselves to become versatile in terms of becoming good speakers, good communicators. That is very important. So where they would share some anecdote or something about the music, or something, which is of interest to common people. So this is again an aspect of versatility, where you are able to, through your talking, to your interaction with the audience, you are able to bring in more people into the fold. So of course the versatility finally, of course, is all about keeping a proper rapport with all the organizations, keeping a rapport with all the press people and other, media people. That is very important. And most important, of course, to be able to engage yourself with the audience constantly. This requires a lot of versatility, I would say, in terms of thinking out of the box, I would say, as to what are the means by which we can keep our audience within sustain their interest and keep them with us. So thus we see that today music is not just about singing a kacheri, and then in fact you also see how in live performance you would have seen how the artists, after their performance, they, even though they may be very tired and fatigued after a 3 or 4 hour performance, they wait patiently and they talk to their the audience, the rasikas, their fans who have come to attend the program. Very patiently they try to interact with them and receive their comments. They also wait patiently for them to take photos with them. So there are so many things, where you have to really develop yourself in a versatile manner today in order to become a successful artist.
CM 365, all about Carnatic music.